The one with the blue ear kinda did a push, was it that one, yeah? That's full buffing show right there.
She was the darkest one in it, you know.
Black hypocrisy.
I mean, I just feel
She
like
kinda look like the
Peter
name
Champagnie, him probably just should have said, listen, I don't want to be
Peter Champagnie no like Spice. Cause him, that's where your energy is for God, Spice. Cause Peter Champagnie, black hypocrisy. Call him out.
I mean,
Peter Champagnie don't like black people. So I guess the biggest thing this week on Twitter, you know, we stay current on the tweets.
Well, you do.
Apparently there is slated to be a pageant competition for the students of the UWI Mona Law School, and what has been making the rounds is pictures of these young ladies who have entered this competition in dance hall attire, and a letter from one Peter Champagnie that has been leaked or been circulating for some reason. I don't know how that going, but it was supposed to be a part of some expo connected to the whole thing, and him sent out a letter saying, "I'm not be a part of this because them picture here a fuckery." Basically, that's what he said. So it caused this big stir and debate about hypocrisy and the whole feelings of elitism toward dancehall, and the pictures themselves, and how it was distasteful for students who are in law and all these things, bare think pieces, blah 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 blah, blah, outrage, blah. Ari, what is your say? What's your take on this whole thing? Is it hypocritical? Is there some hypocrisy here?
There's hypocrisy, there's elitism, there is patriarchy in the bad sense. There is just anachronistic, traditional, archaic,
go easy,
self-righteous, importentious, I guess synonyms of just people who are of a subset of a group of people who just feel like things ought to remain the same.
So to be clear, you have no problem with the pictures themselves?
Of course not. When you first sent me the screenshot, what was my first words to you? My first words like, what's the problem? Like I was so confused. I was like, what's the issue? And then I went to UWI, so I kind of have an idea of how these things kind of work. Like the law, the faculties, the hall, and UWI itself, they all have like pageants encouraging young women to participate, because it's a way to kind of, you know, showcase yourself and, you know, like put it on your resume, because you can put it on your resume, Miss UWI so and so. So yeah.
I'm just praying that you put this on your resume, so you win this year, you put this on your resume, and then you're gonna look back at the pictures like,
yes, I want. It's dancehall. Okay. And the thing that kind of hurt me most about it, because is like he was just looking at one set of pictures.
That's Champagnie.
Mr. Champagnie, when there were clearly 3 photos, like 3 slides. And again, as I know, is that they usually have a personality photo and like a different kind of photo.
Yeah, so like 3 sets of photos for one person.
Yeah, so we have this. So the Mona Law had a theme this year, and they showed personality. I read. I didn't get to see it because they took it down from the Instagram page. But when I saw the screenshot, there were clearly 3 slides there. So as I thought and as I suspected, that one was the personality photo that would show like a difference outside of, you know, who they are. There's another photo of legal professional attire, which I said there was, and the third one was keeping to the theme of dancehall. So for him to single out that dancehall and to call it, let me look up the letter itself, because I was just like, what? I feel like the letter was excessive, and the verbiage he used to describe the photos was just excessive and really unnecessary.
I want to know, how did this letter get out there in the first place?
Right.
That's what I want.
So he said that displayed in the most vulgar, disgraceful, and reprehensible manner, whereas such pictures may not offend the sensibilities of some persons. I have not yet, nor will I ever evolve to that level of acceptance. And I was just like, what is vulgar about the photos? Like, maybe there were some that I saw that I didn't see, that were really offensive, but the ones that I saw made the front of the newspaper, the Guinea newspaper.
No, like the one with the blue ear, kinda did a push, that one, yeah. That's full buff in show right there, like.
But it's
the others now. I'm gonna get the Vulgar.
The one that I thought the best one that was there.
This one.
But there was another one that showed the girl in that position. I thought that was really cute.
You're not see full buff there. So.
You're not see full buff there.
No.
But I think.
And she kind of close like.
Yeah. But even so, I do not think that they're disgraceful. And you know what? And suppose if I draw it even further, that the girl that you show, she was the darkest one in it, you know.
Black hypocrisy.
I mean, I just feel
she kind of look like
Peter
the name
Champagnie, him probably just should have said, listen, I don't want to be
Peter Champagnie like Spice. Cause him, that's where your energies forgot, Spice. Cause Peter Champagnie, black hypocrisy. Call him out.
I mean,
Peter Champagnie don't like black people.
Yeah, I could go so further. But I just feel like it was just to me, I think he did more in damaging these girls' self-esteem than trying to help and try to be, you know, like in the morally just, and using his sensibilities to not accept this level, never be a level of acceptance. I just found it to be unnecessary. The verbiage he used to describe the photos, I felt like it did more harm than good. I feel like he was trying to do. Maybe I'm wrong. What him say? Or divergent views, therefore, on what I consider to be profound, cannot accommodate my participation in your expo. But there was another one that he said. So by posting of such pictures, I am left with the inescapable inference that you do not find anything objectionable about them. So with him saying this, I just think that I'm just left to infer that he is a hater of dancehall and dancehall culture. And it's funny because he represents dancehall artists. So
lawyer that represented Alkaline when he was in a bag of gun trouble and everything, right?
I think so, yeah.
But to like, there are plenty of lawyers who represent people and they are part of things that they're necessarily fans of. So I found that argument to be invalid. Him can be a lawyer for somebody and not necessarily be off.
Well, he's a defense lawyer, so you're right. Him probably defend criminals and murderers. Pay me enough money,
I do a job.
Yeah, you're right.
The feelings are involved there, so.
You're right.
But in my view, it did kind of, when I first saw it, it's just that you don't really put those two images together in terms of law, dancehall, the image and how they were dressed. But when they really pretty, it wasn't that bad except for that one picture.
And that one picture to me wasn't offensive. It wasn't, because it was keeping to the theme of dancehall and dancehall Jamaican culture. So for you to find it reprehensible, it's just that you're saying that you find the entire genre itself reprehensible.
And what we know as fact, if it was carnival wear,
which there was a picture circulating with his wife.
Wow.
Jumping up in carnival in panty and brassiere.
We don't have a fact checker yet, Ari. Is this factual?
I saw a photo.
There was somebody on Twitter that was defending him, and they were saying that he's right.
Yeah.
And then the picture that was going around was of that person's wife, and he put him on the feathers and said anything.
Champagne, they put on the something pan.
No, it was Champagnie's defender, an ex-big lawyer.
So that's not true. That's not his wife.
I don't think the one that you're talking about is his wife. I think it's someone else's that was defending him.
Oh.
That's not Jervis, by the way, people.
Oh, that's the one where they say it's his wife, but
Yeah.
it far-fetched. We believe that him condone his wife jumping up in fete and a match in a it's not
Another thing though,
far-fetched, at least.
from my understanding, it was not only a dancehall theme, it was a reggae theme. Where were the reggae theme clothing? That's just something I question as well.
But it was Jamaican.
And I don't really reggae. I didn't see the reggae. I didn't see the covering of the heads. The usual reggae imagery that I associate with reggae in terms of female clothing. I didn't see
I
that.
mean, ultimately, we can pick apart it and nitpick it and break it down. But I feel like ultimately, I just feel bad for the young women who
That's
are
who
part
I feel
of,
bad for.
Yeah, who were a part of this because they just wanted to do something out of. I'm sure half of them in this the pageants were like shy and like, I don't want to do it. But you know, you do it to kind of to put yourself out there to give you a boost of confidence, you know, to be able, because to be a lawyer is one thing, you know, like you have to be able to talk in front of people and put on a show. I think that lawyers sometimes are kind of actors because, you know, the bunch of theatrics and putting on and to make people believe your case, it really takes a lot out there. And for him to do that and to kind of chip away at their confidence and their whole self-esteem and to they were plastered all over
the Gleaner, which I did not like.
You know,
it's not the same thing as being on Instagram. Because Instagram, as we saw, it could be deleted. You cannot delete those pages.
No, you can't. But I think the thing is and for it to be on in the Gleaner in that light to be.
Do you think it was news? Because that was another argument.
No, I
amongst
don't.
people say it wasn't news. Why was
well,
this
it was circulating on social media, and that's what, and that's one of the things that traditional media is trying to stay current on. So I'm sure they probably did more investigative work.
I saw Dean Jackson Miller defending it in a way, and people
say
say
what?
That's like it's funny how people say that how something can be a topic on Twitter for several days, and when the news report on it, it gets lambasted and say, "Oh, this is the news when I report on this." So it's like, we're not with the times, and we're trying to be with the times.
So I cannot knock them for that. I feel like I can't knock them for that. I think
knock them for putting out the pictures.
I think that's my probably only concern.
Yeah,
like to put it on the front page, especially in that regard, because it wasn't in the best light.
Yep.
You know, to be plastered all over, that probably is a little demoralizing for these young women.
And these women are 18, 20, 22 from the ages we read.
Yeah.
Them just get started in this profession, and for have this stain on them.
I don't think it's a stain. I don't
will
think
be
it's
because
a stain.
the ridicule what them
I think
got
it's
through.
just one. I just one person.
I'm not saying a stain for them to enter
just no
it.
saying I go work in a Peter Champagnie law firm if him have a law firm.
Because even like it seems like the law offices are divided as well. Like people did in law did a condemning as well.
I was reading. I read several think pieces on it. I saw where I read in the Gleaner them say it's kind of divided.
Yeah.
People are of one view and people agree with him. People of course diverge from his point of view. But ultimately, personally,
there were some that was saying that it was below the bar. Get it?
No, bomb. Yeah, but just to me, I just felt like I just thought that his verbiage, his words used to withdraw his support in the expo, it was just like extra.
Yeah, it was a bit.
It was just extra, like lewd and vulgar and reprehensible. Like, if you understood the context behind it, and even if you did, and for you to say that, it just showed that you just don't like Jamaican culture, because it represented dancehall in probably one of its, you know, like the earlier purest form, and it's supposed to be a sexy photo shoot. I didn't think it was overly sexual. I didn't think it was like this, oh, look at me get hurt sort of thing, like with Magnum and them liquor company were very
like
just,
a sure type picture,
yes,
like calendar them.
No, it wasn't, and I felt like, and there was some
as
art
I say,
to
it's
it.
just
There was some art to it, so I think it was just excessive.
It's just the optics of law and dancer. It's just two imagery where you never yet connect, and for see come together like this, I guess it was just a shock to the membrane of people.
Well,
like,
that's why I said patriarchy and just the old worldview of this is how it ought to be. This is how it needs to be. Like we've moved and we've evolved, you know, and maybe he's thinking that, oh, law is probably one profession should never be touched and should never. It's like, you have sexy lawyers. You have lawyers that are, you know, like,
you have sexy lawyers who don't dress up in
who
these
don't dress up,
get-ups.
sure, but it's one thing if it's just like they're on a calendar and like being sexy and they're lawyers and like saying that they're a lawyer and in a robe, like a judge robe, and it's short and sexy. Like, it'd be one thing if it was that. But the fact it's a theme, there's a theme related to it. It's for a pageantry for the UWI Guild. I'm sure they went over it. I'm sure it's a committee and they all vetted it and they all looked it over and they're like, okay, this can work. So, and I'm sure there were older people in the faculty that probably view it and gave their stamp of approval.
Which brings me to this question, Ari.
I'm thinking.
Which brings me to this question. Is this a work?
Maybe.
You think this is a Gucci situation? Did the Mona Miss Law pageant, was it getting low ratings and did this for ratings and attention?
No, but the thing is that it's the school, like they don't need to. They don't need it. They don't need to do that. They don't need to do that.
I was just joking.
They don't need to do that.
It's just in this attention-driven world. They just don't. You have to question every last thing.
I guess the real question is like, why was it leaked? Like, why was the photo?
Who leaked this letter?
Who leaked his letter? Was it to say like to show like, oh, look at this old elitist asshole?
It almost
calling an asshole
seemed like it was done in a spirit to further humiliate these girls and this pageant and whoever put this on. And it was just done in poor taste.
It was.
All
he had to say was like, whoever leaked the photo, maybe one thing, if it would be okay, it would be one thing if it was done in private, where the letter was sent to this guild, the school, and say, okay, but the fact that it was leaked, you're right, it further humiliated these young women and probably demoralized them. But I just want, again, we were talking about agency over our bodies, at least women, and this is one of the things that I was talking about. Like, young women, like, if men did it, if men had their shirt open and they're posing sexy, like, would it be such a big deal?
And them have Miss Allah.
Exactly.
Where are those pictures? Not that I want to see them.
Exactly. So, you know, it's just...
Yeah, I don't think they'd be dressed like that.
They don't, but probably them shirt open. Them probably shirtless, and them, even if them have been dancehall, it probably one, and it kind of seemed like to be a retro theme. So I'm thinking probably like the top button, the one button at the top. Yeah. Clothes, and then the rest open, and him shirtless, and you know, him a going like bad man, and the
reggae colored Rushman.
Exactly.
Like.
So, you know, would it be bad? What was those attacking your sensibilities too? Were those photos reprehensible?
Maybe just like me, never care for check them out.
But then don't comment on the women. That's what I'm saying. Like, women always have to fit this mold and this perception of men and how women ought to be, and not who we are now, and not what we want to be. It's like we always have to be yes and no, and pick and choose and be a certain way to please men, older men, society, patriarchy, and it's like we have no agencies over our bodies, and that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, because I'm sure there were pictures of men, like the male law students, and I'm sure I didn't see it. I was looking on the Instagram page, I didn't see it. So if there were photos of the men and guessing the same theme, were they not as they weren't deemed to be sexy? Like, there's so many questions, and that's why I said, like, women need to have agencies over our bodies, young and older. Like, if you don't like it, all him have to do is say, well, you know, I don't agree with this, and just keep it moving. Like, him never have to put in the lewd and reprehensible, and it was just so excessive and unnecessary, absolutely unnecessary.
Okay, I rant over.
Yeah, it's just I'm just annoyed. Men always feel the need to always tell us what to do. Always, and it pisses me off to the core. Don't fucking tell me what to do. Not with my body. I can't tell you, Mr. Champagnie, not to be shirtless, not to be all sexy, whatever you deem to be sexy. I can't tell you.
All right, stop right there.
You don't tell
put
me.
imagery on me that I didn't want to do. So
I'm
stop.
just saying.
Yeah,
I can't tell you, so you don't tell
All right,
me.
they're gone too far now. All right.